After a really tough, unexpected loss, a coach's press conference, well, it can tell you everything. It shows you the team's mindset, what the real problems are, and maybe, just maybe, the path forward. Today, we're going to break down Coach Matt Campbell's brutally honest words after Iowa State's upset loss to Colorado. We're going to try to figure out what it all means for the rest of their season. Yeah, losing to a struggling Colorado team, that one stung for sure. But honestly, it was Coach Campbell's reaction that really got everyone talking. It suggested this was way more than just a bad day at the office. This felt different. So yeah, there are the numbers. The Cyclones dropped to 5-2 after a tough one on the road, but the numbers don't tell the whole story. Not even close. The real story? Well, that started the second Coach Campbell stepped up to the podium. Look, he could have blamed a million different things, right? The refs, the travel, a bad bounce, but he didn't. Campbell went straight for the heart of the problem. He didn't dance around it. He didn't make any excuses. Instead, he gave a diagnosis that was just so pointed, so direct, and he kept coming back to it over and over again. And there it is. That's the word. Execution. It wasn't about effort. It wasn't about the game plan. He just hammered this point home, making it crystal clear where he felt the breakdown was happening. On the field, in the moments that absolutely matter. What he's doing here is drawing a really bright line in the sand between the coaching strategy and the player performance. In his eyes, this wasn't about the X's and O's they drew up all week. Nope. This was about the failure to actually do them correctly on Saturday. Campbell was basically telling the whole world, our guys knew what to do, they just didn't do it. And let me tell you, that is a powerful and very, very public statement for a head coach to make about his team. And he didn't stop there. He didn't just leave it as some vague team problem. Oh no. He got very specific about which side of the ball wasn't holding up its end of the bargain. Shooting yourself in the foot? Wow. That's a direct shot right at the offense. He's saying these are unforced errors, and he's putting the responsibility squarely on the shoulders of his offensive players. Oof. And then he drops this line. By saying the offense is healthy, he is systematically taking away every possible excuse. The subtext here is screaming, you have all your guys, you should be playing better, period. This is such a bold leadership move. It's not about throwing your players under the bus. It's about setting an incredibly high standard in public and challenging your team to meet it. The message couldn't be clearer. The time for excuses is over. But here's what makes this whole thing so compelling. The press conference wasn't just a laundry list of complaints. Amidst all that clear frustration, Campbell was also really deliberate about pointing out what was working. He went out of his way to shout out the defense, the special teams, and he even said the offensive line played really well. This shows it wasn't just a blanket condemnation of the whole team. It was a very targeted surgical assessment. And it wasn't just about units. He praised individuals, naming a guy like Cooper Ebel, calling him absolutely incredible. That sends a huge message to the entire locker room. I see you. Great individual performances will be recognized, even when we lose. And the same thing goes for running back Abu Sama. By highlighting his growing confidence, Campbell is showing everybody that he's still seeing positive growth. He's identifying the building blocks for the future, even in a moment of really intense disappointment. So you put it all together, and you have to ask, what does this all mean for Iowa State? Is this a team that's about to have a breakthrough, or are they on the verge of a breakdown? Let's be clear, this wasn't just a coach letting off steam. This was a calculated move. This was a head coach publicly lighting a fire under his team and demanding more from them. And that right there is the million-dollar question. How is this team going to respond to this public challenge? Will they rise to the occasion, or will the pressure just cause more cracks to appear? I guess the next few weeks are going to tell us everything we need to know about whether this press conference was the real turning point of their season.